We are being pushed to redefine our divine and sacred agreement. And that is part of what we're coming towards now. We have been working in a certain schema or a certain program that has been all around the survival and the hardship and the suffering, the trauma. And many have come in as light workers to release those cords, those connections of pain, so that we can take that next jump. But I don't think that we're going to be able to take that next jump while all the light workers have forgotten that they are here to do a gift, a sacrifice, a very kind and generous gift to the story to release the traumas. But if the light workers stay locked into that idea that that's all they're here to do, we can't shine the light that we're supposed to have. And we're supposed to be opening up now because we're too broken and too tired and exhausted from holding the space for a very, very long time. Also, you're buffering, so she's not getting the fullness of her experience. So it doesn't feel like it's at that urgent place because you're taking the edge of the urgency, you bearing that. So it's not an urgency. It's not a necessity for her because you're carrying it so she can still play in it because it's not too messy. It's just messy enough to be predictable and therefore comfortable because it's known. So you taking the edge off it is actually locking her in to the story. We go in, we try and be the heroes and try and fix things. And we're not fixing anything because all we're doing is stopping people from connecting to what it is that they are supposed to do. We're buffering and we think we're being kind and supportive and helpful. No, we're not. We're not being helpful by buffering anyone else's story because then they don't finish their karmic story. One of the worst things we experience is not finishing our karmic story. Worse than that is know that we got in the way of someone finishing their karmic story. We're not done until we're done. And that's the truth of it. We carry the bag, we carry the luggage out of sense of duty or responsibility or being a hero or having an elevated awareness of what we can do and what we can hold, feel very noble that we are carrying this for someone else. But all of that is keeping them from doing their journey, distracting them and giving them a little bit more playtime in the distortion. And we don't want to give them any more playtime in the distortion because we're sick to bits of the play and we don't want to rescue anybody at all because everyone's here on their own sovereign journey. It's their journey. They must do what they have to do. This is the time for us to get a clear idea who we are, what we're here to do, and step into it. Not fiddling around with anybody else and anyone's little stories and anyone's upliftment, not now. Because if we stay in that idea, we are holding the same idea of brokenness. They are needy and dependent, and I'm better off, and so therefore I must sacrifice my life and my energy. But all we're ever doing, and we're playing in that kind of game, we're creating neediness, we're creating dependency, and we're helping that person to stay a prisoner in the story that they are also in. Get the fingers out. This is only you as a light being switching your frequency. That's what we got to do right now. Our sense of purpose has also been plugged into brokenness. So we're maintaining brokenness so that we can feel purposeful. And that is where we're getting hooked. I don't know. I have no idea what the next step is going to be. And my love, if we can find our comfort in that idea, that we have no idea, no sense at all of where it is that we're supposed to go and what is the next step, then we're in the right place. The minute we think we know, we're playing in an old game that's got some kind of setting or some kind of stereotype, some kind of formula that makes us think that that is something we know. And then we're very sneaky and very clever, very devious. So what we do is we put a new little cover on it and we put some nice little glitter here and there. And we present it to ourselves as, oh, this is my brand new idea. It's not new. You're playing in the game of brokenness. So we're all going to stay broken. And we think we have to rescue. And if we have to rescue anybody, we immediately put them in victim. We put them in victim because we want to be the rescuer. So it's not them being the victim. It's us putting them in that role as a victim. So we've got to watch what game we're playing here so carefully. If we're playing the game, someone's broken, I'm better. There's a game that's being played here, and we are the game. We are in the game as much as everybody else, and we are playing it, and we think we're doing well, and we think we're doing better. We think we know better. And if we know any better, we are playing in the same game. The only place to be now is to be, I have no idea where the next step is and what the next moment is. I've got no idea. It's to be able to stand within the space of all potential and have absolutely no idea which way to go, what the next step is going to be, and be comfortable there because we know that we are the very breath of the divine, that we are held and we are adored, and that the next step will unfold. Just as we put a light into a dark place, it illuminates that place. Instead of us poking around in the dark, trying to find our way, we just stand still and be the light that illuminates where to go now. That is our greatest discomfort. No idea, no predictability, no pattern, no story, nothing, no thing. And then we start to create. Can we be comfortable in that? What makes it hard is us thinking of our human self, like, oh my gosh, well, how will I eat and how will I live and how will I pay my debts and how will I do that stuff? Well, the human part of us is in this program. So the human part of us knows how to do it. But the part of us that is our higher self, that is connected to all that is the part we've got to work with. There we work into our higher awareness so that our human self and the lower vibrational, lagging, dragging energy can catch up. So if we can clear it energetically, if we can open the pathway energetically, and if we can be comfortable that the fact, energetically be comfortable that I have no idea where I am and feel it as an energy being, and affirm that into our body, mind, and our spirit, then we've covered it, we've done it already as our energy being. And that just trickles down into the deeper, denser layers of our human story and starts to unfold there as a human. You're working in density, with density, as density. It's not going to work. The density is just going to suck you in. It's just like standing in sinking sand. You can move yourself from here to there, but you're still going to sink because that's the sinking sand. Can't work here. Impossible to work here. Defeats us every time. Sabotages us, collapses. And then we start feeling desperate. But all the time, even when you're desperate, we have this longing in the heart, longing in the soul that's pulling us towards something. What is that? That is your higher self. That's yourself that knows it's still available. Can't we just step into that part of us? We're trying to play as our human self. We're going to sink in the sinking sand as our human self. We're going to shift our human energy, our dense human energy from here to there. And we keep doing that because of the longing of the heart, the soul's yearning for what it is that you're here to bring in. So right there, you understand yourself as your human that's participating in this dense quagmire of life, and your higher self that has this deep longing of your heart, this knowing that you're here for something else. You've got two aspects to your energy, not just two, there's many, many, but these two that are coming in very prominent now, the dense human energy and the high light vibration. They're very extreme and very contrasting so that us as our dense human can actually feel the contrast. After this, it's going to become more subtle and it's going to become more gentle. But right now, we are far away from this denseness and what it is that our heart and soul wants us to bring in. It feels unobtainable, unavailable because it's too far away. It's too contrasting. But because we're so densely immersed in the quagmire, we have to have contrast, massive contrast, so that we can see it, because otherwise we're going to miss it. If it's subtle, if it's just a little contrast, we're going to miss it. We're going to excuse ourselves in it or the other in it. We're going to let it just wash away. We're not going to notice. Can you feel the impact that's been coming to you? It's massive. It's a big stretch contrast, not a little one. Not a little one that you can still just make do and just manage and just cope, just hope. It's big because your heart is pulling you towards something else. So you know you've got two aspects to your being and many more. Your diamond essence, your multifaceted diamond self, has many different awarenesses, but we keep playing in the low one. We keep playing in the human dense energy and the human reality that we've created. We keep trying to create things inside of that and play in it and want it to get better. But how can we get it better? We're stuck in the mud. We're stuck in the sinking sand. We're not going to better. Cannot get better here. And that's the final story of it. If God could come down and say, will you people look up? You've got an energy being. You are filled with light. You are filled with love and the grace of God. I'm calling you with all my heart and all my soul. I'm giving you every opportunity to see what it is that your heart and your soul knows is truth. But you keep trying to create it in the dense quagmire. No, stop. Stop playing here and tune in to what your soul wants. Your soul wants to play, to swim with the dolphins, to run on the beach, to be in the sun, and to sit under a tree and merge with nature and enjoy beautiful food, connect to beautiful beings. That's your soul energy. That is your light being that knows the delight of being in divine light. It knows that already. But we all are using that beautiful energy, feeling frustrated and depressed because we can't have that. But what do we mean we can't have it? We have it already. We've got it in our awareness. It is already here. We just keep playing in the lower frequency, trying to make it better, make this place that frequency. It cannot be that frequency. This low frequency will only ever be that low frequency. Cannot be anything else. Whatever you try and create and make in this place, it will not work. We have got to elevate our frequency and pull people out the quagmire. That's what we've got to do. And we've got to do it energetically, with our energy being, not our human being. Can you see it yet? It's taking a while. Can you feel the resistance? No, but I must. No, but I should. No, but I have to. No, but. Just watch those. Creating in that place with our imagination. And that's what the Native Americans are telling us. They've been telling us forever. We got to redream ourselves. We got to dream it in. It's not going to happen here by the doing human. Doing human's going to do the same stupid thing. We just keep collapsing because we're too low in density energy. We're too low. We've got to dream it in. We've got to lift it into the place of expansion and possibility. In the dream time, there's no blocks. There's no but if and oh, I can't because. There's none of that. It's just when you dream, it's impossible. 1 minute you're walking, the next minute you're flying, the next minute you're at some other venue, and the next minute you're swimming like a fish. It's just like everything's happening all at the same time. It's beyond limitations. It's in that realm of the dream world. But the dream world is when we start to imagine using our imagination. And it's our imagination that is connected to our imaginal cells, the magic imaginal cells that we have. Those imaginal cells are what help that caterpillar, when it turns into its goopy state in its chrysalis, to become the butterfly. It's the imaginal cells. The whole thing undoes from what it was, and it recreates itself in this chrysalis. It's just got to go into its chrysalis and trust its transformation. Not big, can I do it, or I'll just do this and I'll eat less and I'll exercise more and I'll do these 5 steps and then I'll jump out of this. Nothing to do with the human doing. It's being able to know that we are divinely and uniquely encoded in this being already. We are that already. It just has to awaken, but it cannot awaken because we won't awaken into it. We won't give ourselves the opportunity to bring that energy into our being fully. We put it on the side like it's some magical little cord pulling us and our wishing and hoping and desiring. And we just put it somewhere there, but we don't stand in it and go, yeah, that's what it is. And just imbibe it in every single cell of our being. This feeling of freedom when you think of yourself swimming with the dolphins. Freedom, space, openness, color, beauty, sunlight, liquid, no density, no weight, no anything, just movement, light and love, flow. Dream that, but dream it for all humanity, that all beings and all life will experience flow, ease, grace, and beauty. Let's do that. Of course, we're going to be heavy because we're sinking in. The more we know what it feels like, the greater the contrast. We just go, oh, I wish it could be, or I hope. And we put it in this thing like, I'm never going to get it. We stay in the denseness. Of course we're going to do that because we hate it and we're angry. We get frustrated. We tell ourselves we're depressed. Because we're depressed, we've got to pamper ourselves, feed ourselves, and give ourselves things. But what do we give ourselves? The dense stuff. And that just tells you you're stuck. You're stuck in the density. It's dense stuff. It makes your denseness feel more dense, which makes you known to you. I know me now because I'm feeling like a dense being. What is the next space? And the next space is not anything that we know. Nothing. No thing. The next space has got nothing to do with that energy. If it's got one little thing to do with this energy, we're still hooked. We're still stuck there. We will not be able to take that leap over because we'll have our legs one here, one there, and eventually we'll just split apart. Now's the time to say, I'm just going to step into the energy of expansion, possibility, and write a new contract for my being. I'm not here to fix anybody. I don't want to play anything that maintains the status quo, looks a little bit better, put a Band-Aid on it, but it's a seeping wound of humanity. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I won't play in any game that plays with the human low dense energy. Nothing. I will not participate. Hands off. And all the time you're feeling it, you feel the contrast. And every time you feel contrast, you got to say to yourself, I'm feeling the misery of this. I'm feeling it and I'm not loving it because I'm light. Only reason you're feeling that this is miserable is because you're light. If you were just this mud, with mud, in mud, all playing mud games, drinking, breathing, mud, you wouldn't know anything else. It's lovely. We'll just all be in the mud. but for everyone who knows there's something else. That knowing that there's something else gives us that opportunity for something else. But we keep going, oh, I wish it could be that. Oh, why can't I just have that now? Why can't it be that? We're saying it in a way that it's not going to happen. It's all lost already. It's hopeless and despairing. The deeper the contrast, the more we know, I really don't like this. I don't want this. I don't choose this. But we keep choosing it because we keep playing in it. Because we don't think we deserve anything better. We've been told that we're stupid and small, and you've got to jump through these other 50 hoops before you can deserve it or give it to yourself. We've created all these structures, the little badges, the little awards, the ceremonies, the things you have to go through, go to university, go to college, go to this, and now suddenly you're deserving of being recognized because you are peer-reviewed and you are being adored and you've got accolades and certificates. No game required, no story required, no hoops to jump through. You're that already. And you know it because you know the contrast. Every time you see something that is contrasting, that makes you go, oh, I don't like this, or I'm not happy with that. Don't go, I'm not happy. Just say, I'm not happy with that story because I know what the other story is already. And because I know what it is, I'm the creator of it. And I start to imagine myself in the other story, which awakens my imaginal cells. And I start to recreate myself just like the caterpillar and the chrysalis. I give myself permission to transform while I'm in my form. This is the magnificent time of our human experience where we get to watch ourselves transform. It's just the most amazing time to be here. We've never done this before. We've just been playing in the mud, experiencing the contrast. This is the first time. Don't forget who you are. You can do it. It's you already. Your heart knows you've been called. And there's nothing to do. How light is that? Nothing to do. No bags to pick up. No games to play. No requirements. Nothing. Nothing to do but hold your light. Oh, how freeing is that? We're going to work energetically from now on. And then you hold that energy in your soul. The lightness, the laughter, the happiness, you hold it, you feed your soul, you ignite your soul and you wake it up. That magnet becomes stronger and stronger and stronger because the heart is a magnetic field and you keep pushing that energy through your heart. I love this. I love it so much. And the most wonderful thing is that we can go and store up some memories. Every time we feel a lightness, a delight, a sweetness, a kindness, every time that comes in, like we must take that moment and remember it from every sense that we can and tuck it into a beautiful little file in our brain that says, my delightful file. And we put it away there for these moments where we want to reach them. And all you have to do is sit still and breathe and connect and tap into that feeling. All your senses, all your perceptions will have tucked it into different parts of your brain. And when you ask your amygdala to bring it in, bring me that feeling, it will gather them all up like this and it'll give it to you. And you'll be surprised. Oh my gosh, I can remember what the sea smelled like. I can remember the sound of the children laughing and screaming with delight. I can hear the sounds of the seagulls and the crashing waves. I can hear it. You awaken your cells to that which we really, really desire. That awakens this energy. We work as energy beings, even if we can't get in the car because there's no car to go to the beach. You hold the beach in you, in every memory, in every cell. Your imaginal cells can become that, just like the caterpillar and the chrysalis that's stuck in there. It's goop, for heaven's sakes. It's got no car to go anywhere. It's just oozy goop. But it reimagines itself. How? We don't know. That's the divine. We don't know. Let go, let God. Imagine it. Keep igniting the flame of who you already are. That's it. Nothing else. Nobody is involved in it, only you. You can do it all on your own. You can be locked up in a cell. You can be lost and broken, but you hold a gift. Every single soul holds that gift. No human can take that away, imprison us. No one. No one. It's our free will. It's the most sovereign gift. What will we choose? And what will we choose? Will we choose to stay in the heavy density, the martyrdom, the victimhood, the depression? Or would we choose to remember who we are, that we already know that our soul is calling in? What will we remember? And that is our memory. Our imagination awakens, our imaginal cells awaken. We become.